And thanks so much for joining me for my monthly one eye, one cheek, one lip Chanel video. If you'd like to see that, please keep watching. So welcome to those of you who have been here before, and a special welcome to those of you who are new from Allison's channel. Thank you so much for joining us. Usually we jump right into product close-ups and swatches, but today I just wanted to talk a little bit about Allison before we get started. She focuses on luxury beauty. We actually feature a lot of the same products, but I think that's so great because you get to see them on different skin tones, different skin types, and she uses them a little bit differently than me. So I think it's always great to be able to see products used in different ways. In addition, she has a beauty consultation business. Although she's very knowledgeable about certain brands, especially something like Chanel, she's not tied to any one brand, so her opinions are unbiased. So make sure to head over for consultation services in case that's something you're interested in. But most of all, she's a wonderful person, so please make sure to head over and watch her video and subscribe. But let's go ahead and get started. More beautiful packaging by Chanel with this fabric ribbon. And here we have an eye makeup remover. Then we have a Rouge Cocoa Flash sample. I'm not going to throw it back there again, but this is an 82 Live or Live. But let's open these. This is number 226. We'll also be trying out this eye kohl. It's in 12. And then a Le Rouge Duo in 57 Darling Pink. And here is the blush in 64 Pink Explosion. Oh wow, it has some shimmer in there, doesn't it? And there's a swatch of the blush. Now let's go ahead and put a look together. You already love this palette, and some of you have been really anxious to see this in action. We've got 226 Tisse Rivoli. Let's go ahead and put this color all over the lid. Really pretty satin, kind of mocha shade here. Great one and done shade. Let's go ahead now with this shade right here. We'll put this in the crease. I did use the Water Fresh tint first because my skin is a little bit dry, so that was a nice way to kind of rehydrate before going in with the foundation. We're gonna go in with this shade right here, the deepest shade right in the corner, outer corner. Take my 6.5 Ray Morris brush, just smooth that over. Let's take this first shade underneath the bottom lash line and see how that looks. Then let's take this shade and then we'll just run that in the outer corner on the bottom. I'm just gonna tight line with Blackwood here. Then I'm gonna add some mascara and we'll be right back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and added some mascara. So I went in with the Ilia on the top lashes, the Chantecaille on the bottom lashes, just because this does a really great job on bottom lashes. I put a little bit more concealer on the corners here, the Clé de Peau, and I went in with this number 12 in the waterline. Let's go ahead and add a little bit more brightness. So I'm gonna take some of this lightest shade here, and I'm going to just use my finger and apply it, hopefully my lashes are dry, on my eyelids, really lightly. So you can see the difference. It just is a slight brightening. Let's go ahead and take this on the inner corner as well. Really pretty on the inner corner. It's very subtle, but you can see the results. So far everything blended really nicely, even that deepest shade on the corner there. Sometimes it's a little bit tricky. This one blended really easily. Okay, let's go in with the blush. It looks very vibrant, and I actually asked Allison which blush I should pick up, and she thought this one would look really pretty. And I don't have blushes with this. It's got like a bluish tone to it, so it's cooler than most of the blushes I have. It's got some shimmer to it, so I'll keep it away from the front of my face for now. Oh, really pretty. And not so, I thought there was gonna be more like particles, but I don't see them once they're on. Really beautiful. Okay, you can see though it is vibrant, so let's see if we can get it in the front here without going too shimmery. And I don't have anything like this, I don't think. Now I am seeing some particles, but they're not distracting or anything in terms of the shimmer. Actually, I think I can put a little bit more blush because the lip looks really light. Okay, you can really see the color of the blush. Wow. Okay, I think I applied it for too long. Let's go in and do a little fix it. So let's go in with the Hummingbird powder by Chantecaille. I just use this all the time to fix my blush when I have put a little bit more on than I intend. I mean, it's a really pretty blush. I just think maybe I went a little bit too much. That's better. Now let's try this. This is the one that I think is a little light for me. It's in Darling Pink, number 57. Yeah, that's really light. I think the key is going to be to keep this a lighter application. Let's talk about the products really quickly. I love the eye. I think it's really beautiful. So I'm actually going to, in a moment here, compare this Tisse to the first one that I got. And as I go through the Tisse series, I'm going to continue to just add on in terms of comparing them. So I loved the eye. I think it went on really smoothly. I like the kind of smokiness of it, the like grayness of it, although it's got a little bit of a mauvey tone to it. Really pretty, and it was easy, really easy to use. This one actually seemed, I'll talk about it in a little bit, but it actually seemed to apply a little bit smoother than the other one. Let's move on to the cheek though really quickly. This is the one that Allison had suggested for me. I wasn't quite sure about the visible like particles in there because I don't love that, but when I applied it, I really couldn't see them, so it wasn't something distracting to me, and I actually was able to bring it up quite a bit. So it did really well and has a beautiful sheen to it, just really pretty. And most of my Chanel blushes are on the warm side, so I would like to try more of the cool shades. And although this may not look like it, it's definitely more cool than my other blushes. So really, really beautiful. Maybe not the first or even second one I would have chosen, but Allison was right. It's really stunning. Let's talk about this lip. The reason why I was willing to try something a little bit lighter with this formula is because consistently this lipstick is the only one really that shows its true shade on my lips because I have so much pigmentation. Usually there's a little bit of an influence on lip color because it goes on to something that already has color to it, but this really shows the color of the product. So that's why I thought if I went lighter, this would be a really great formula to try. So looking at it here, it did a pretty good job, although I think with a lip liner, it will do a much better job. Because I didn't want to go so heavy with the application, because I think that this does really well when actually the layer is quite thin and then you put the gloss on. I think the heavier you are with this, not the worse it looks, but I just prefer a very thin layer of this. So I think maybe going in with a lip liner first would help. So I'm going to experiment with that and see how it goes, but I think it did really well. And I think it goes well with this cheek because the cheek is kind of vibrant and you definitely see this cheek color, so I didn't want it to compete with the lip. So if I can figure out a really great pairing with a lip liner, or if you know of one, let me know. I'd love to try it, but I would love to figure that out because I think it actually worked. So let's go ahead and compare 266, the first one I got, with 226, which is kind of funny. They both have 2s and 6s. And you can see that the shades are quite different, even though on first glance they might look very similar. I think that 266 is more of a neutral palette. Also, they feel a little bit different. So 266 feels a little bit more dry to the touch, whereas 226 feels a bit more creamy. Now, I don't know if that's just my imagination, but they also look slightly different. 226 looks a lot creamier in the pan than 266. So I don't know, let me know. Also, I see more powder coming off of 266, I have to look at the bottom every time, than 226. As I collect Tisse palettes, I will continue to swatch them next to each other just so we can take a look at them in sequence. Okay, so I'm really happy again with the look overall. I feel like I haven't really gone wrong with my one eye, one cheek, one lip looks yet. So hopefully this trend will continue, but let me know what you think if you have these products. But I'd love to know your suggestions for the next one eye, one cheek, one lip series. And I actually have a cheek that I want to pick up because I've been asked about it a few times, but I'd love to know what else I should try. Thank you again, Allison, for collaborating with me on this. Always so fun. And make sure you head over to her video and subscribe. But that is it for today's video. So please take care of each other, stay well. If you enjoyed this video, if you learned something, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you next time.